For the past few years, AI has kind of felt like this wild, wild west of boundless experimentation. But that's all changing. 2026 is really shaping up to be the year of what we're calling the Great Correction, a major shift from all the hype to what some are calling the hard hat era of AI. And look, Forrester absolutely nails the vibe here. The time for funding AI projects just because they sound cool, that's coming to an end. The new mandate is incredibly simple. Prove your value. We have officially moved past the flashy demos and into a world where only real, measurable business impact gets the green light. And that's it, right there. This signals a huge shift in the industry's whole mood, from this unchecked optimism to a much more pragmatic, results-driven mindset. The days of just playing around in the sandbox are over. It's time to build some real economic engines. And believe me, this isn't just talk. The financial reality is starting to bite, and bite hard. According to Forrester, a full quarter of all planned enterprise AI spending is getting pushed back into 2027. And why? It's simple. CFOs are now stepping in and demanding clear proof of ROI before they sign any more checks. The era of wishful thinking is officially done. Okay, so what does this correction actually look like in practice? Well, it all starts at the very top with a completely new business playbook. We're seeing a fundamental change in how leadership is thinking about data and AI strategy.
Just take a look at the contrast here. It's pretty stark. A year ago, the main goal was all about experimental pilots, usually led by the tech team in some innovation lab. Fast forward to 2026, and the objective is measurable P&L impact, that's profit and loss, with the CIO and the CFO running the show together. This is not a small tweak, folks. This is AI moving from a cool tech project to a core business strategy. And you see it everywhere, from just grabbing all the data you can to being very purposeful about what you collect, and from simple chatbots to proactive agentic systems that actually get work done.
At the end of the day, the entire conversation has changed. It's no longer about potential. Value is the only metric that matters now. And that pressure is forcing companies to get really serious about governance, treating AI not like some shiny new toy, but as a critical strategic investment. So with this laser focus on value, you can bet that governance has to evolve too. It's not just about data security anymore. Modern governance has to tackle these really specific AI risks. I mean, you have to know where your training data came from. You have to make sure AI decisions can be audited and explained. And you need clear rules for everything from using synthetic data to minimizing how much data you use in the first place.
So you might be asking, how is all this even possible? How is this new playbook being put into action? Well, the technology itself is evolving to meet this new demand for efficiency. And that brings us to the rise of the agents.
Okay, so what on earth is agentic AI? Well, think of it as the next evolution of a chatbot. These aren't just tools that answer your questions. AI agents are more like autonomous workers. They can understand a goal, create a plan to get there, and then actually execute a whole series of complex steps to achieve it.
And this is where things get really, really cool. An AI agent can automate an entire workflow. We're talking about systems that can check your data pipelines for errors, send out automated reports to your team on Slack, and even manage complicated processes like invoicing or supply chain logistics, all without a human needing to step in. This frees up people like you and me to do more of the creative, strategic thinking. And at the same time, the models powering all of this are getting smarter and way more focused. We're seeing this big shift away from the generic one-size-fits-all large language models. Instead, companies are moving toward what are called domain-specific language models, or DSLMs. These are models trained on very specialized data for a specific industry, like finance or healthcare. And what does that mean for you? Higher accuracy, lower operating costs, and way better compliance. It's a win-win-win.
Okay, so we've talked strategy, we've talked tech, but what does all this change mean for the actual people doing the work? The data professionals on the front lines? Well, it's no surprise that the analyst's role is evolving right alongside the technology. So if you're a data analyst, or you want to be one, this is the big question, right? What are the skills you actually need to not just get by, but to really thrive in this new world?
All right, let's get one thing straight right away. Your foundational skills, they are not going anywhere. SQL, Python, data visualization, that's still the bedrock. But the analysts who are really crushing it are now layering a whole new set of AI-focused skills on top of that strong foundation.
This means getting really good at prompt engineering, learning how to design those agentic workflows we just talked about, and having a deep understanding of AI governance and ethics. And let's make this super practical. When we talk about prompt engineering, structure is everything. A fantastic framework to use is Raft. First, you give the AI a role, tell it who to be. Then you add the specific data or context it needs to work with. Next, you focus its task by telling it exactly what you want it to produce. And finally, you specify the target format. It's a simple structure, but it can completely transform a vague request into a precise command that gets you exactly what you need.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. With all this talk about automation and AI agents, should I be worried about my job? Well, the data tells a really powerful story. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that the demand for data professionals is going to grow by a massive 36% over the next decade. To put that into perspective, that is 9 times faster than the average for all other jobs. So, no, the demand for human expertise isn't shrinking, it's just evolving.
All right, let's wrap this all up. We are absolutely entering the hard hat era of data analytics. The time for just talking and speculating is over, and the time for building real, tangible value is here. So if there's one thing you take away from all of this, it should be this. This new era isn't about AI replacing humans. It's about augmenting them. The people who are going to win are the ones who can combine their deep human expertise with these incredibly powerful AI tools to solve real-world business problems.
And that really leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on. As these machines get smarter and smarter, it forces every single one of us to ask a really fundamental question about what we bring to the table. What is the unique, the irreplaceable value of human expertise, of human curiosity, and of human judgment? That, right there, is the question that's going to define the next chapter of our partnership with technology.